Hours before the Malawi Electoral Commission announced its official results, incumbent President Lazarus Chakwera conceded. His concession kicks off a busy fall election season on the African continent, with 7 more presidential votes scheduled before the end of this year. Today, I'm with Frances Brown to check back in on her piece on the big questions for democracy in Africa. Frances, is Chakwera's concession a win for democracy?
Yeah, I think it is. His party initially claimed victory and tried to block the official results coming out in court. Subsequently, civil society pushed back, political leaders pushed back, and we saw him eventually accept the result. It shows voters that they can deliver change at the ballot box, which is really important. This also builds on a longer trend we've seen across the African continent of incumbent party concessions over the last year. We wrote about this at Carnegie as regards to Botswana and Mauritius and Ghana last year.
These are some of the first elections on the continent since the cut to foreign aid. U.S. aid closed and traditional donors have cut their budgets. Will it be harder for newly elected governments to deliver?
So this is really the key question. We know from surveys from outlets like Afrobarometer that democracy still enjoys strong level support across the continent. At the same time, we also know from Afrobarometer that only 37% of African citizens are satisfied with the way that democracy is performing in their country. So that's a problem. Now, with the cut of foreign aid that you mentioned, it's probably going to get even harder for democratically elected governments to deliver things that people really care about, including health services, including roads, including education.
What about the countries recently affected by military coups?
So unfortunately, democratic prospects are pretty dim in these countries. Earlier this year, I wrote about Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, and Gabon, all places where junta governments have pushed back the timelines on the return to democratic civilian rule. Along the same vein, Guinea recently approved a constitutional referendum that will allow the coup leader to run in this December's elections.
You wrote about inevitable turnovers. When are those coming?
I don't know when they are coming, but I do know that they are indeed inevitable. Africa is the world's youngest continent. It's got some of the oldest leaders. Some of these elderly leaders are running for re-election. In Cameroon, we have 92-year-old President Biya running for his 8th term in office. Over in Cote d'Ivoire, Ouattara is 83, running for his 4th term in office. Whenever these transitions do occur, this is a really key window of opportunity. It can potentially be a window for potential democratic consolidation and handover, or it can be a window for elite entrenchment, authoritarian consolidation, or maybe even conflict.